Welcome to Open Conversations, Bhagya, Luck. Namaste. Luck or Bhagya is something that comes up in our conversations every hour. We use the word without being clear about its deeper meaning. Our open conversation today explores the manifold meanings of the popular word Bhagya or luck. Guide on the subject is writer and thinker Dr. Himanshu Vaidya. Namaste, sir.
Namaste.
How do we start with the concept of luck? What is it?
Luck is something everyone talks about, most people believe in, most people are angry with it. Um, People do various non-rational things to manage luck, and yet most people are not clear about what exactly they mean by the word luck. So the word luck has become something like love or socialism. It means everything to everybody, and nobody precisely knows what it means. So the word luck has become a category word to cover a variety of different things. And this word is very loosely used. So let us look at some of the things that people mean when they use the word luck.
Mm.
The first thing that they mean is it is something which is non-rational. That luck is something which is not rational. Anything that is rational cannot be luck. That would be fall in the domain of science or ordinary logic or ordinary experience or ordinary causality phenomena. So first is luck is not something which is rational. That is one. Second, luck is not something which is facilitating a logical proportion of cause and effect relationship. For example, somebody studies only for 1 hour and gets a gold medal. Now that is out of the way return on investment. There is a windfall gain. Or somebody has studied 12 hours for last 3 months and he fails in the examination. It's a negative windfall compared to his efforts. Now, if there was a proportion in input and output of the type that we can logically explain or accept, we would not bring in the concept of luck. We would say this is just an input-output relationship, that the more hard work you put in, the better marks you get. But when this logical input-output proportional relationship is broken and somebody disproportionately gets something or does not get something, the concept of luck comes. So first, it is not something rational. Two, it is not a part of the regular input-output series in phenomena that we see around us.
True.
Third, it is something out of control. If it was within control, we would not call it luck. It would then become a part of our world of the free will. And anything that is a part of our world of free will cannot be luck. So the third characteristic of luck is that it is something out of control. Not only that it rationally cannot be understood, but also in terms of power, it is out of control. Fourth, usually luck does not go on the lines of justice. That you don't get what you deserve or you get what you don't deserve. So it is not justice. A evil person getting punishment, nobody will call it luck. But a good person getting punishment, people will call it luck. An evil person not getting punishment, people will call it luck. So luck is something which is also against the principle of ordinary justice. That luck does not align with our ordinary idea of justice. luck therefore can be a privilege or a persecution. That for those who don't do anything, don't have much talent, but have got so much from the world, they have been endowed with privilege for no reason, which is unjust from one point of view, but it's a fact of life. Take, for example, the children of Mukesh Ambani. They are at the top of an empire which people 10 times better than them will not be able to build in their lifetime. And for no reason. There's nothing on merit that they should deserve to be where they are. And if there was a perfect society, society would not allow them to sit in that chair. Society would put the best people available in society to manage those important chairs. This is a very feudal system, that the son gets the father's chair just because he is a son without any consideration of merit. The only merit is of luck, that he is the son of XYZ. And that is an imperfection of society, that society tolerates this kind of feudalism. And society even thinks it is just in a way, which is actually highly unjust. It's as undemocratic as it can be, but people don't bring the principles of democracy in inheritance, which any ideal society would do. The whole idea of inheritance is an idea of luck, and it's anti-merit, and it's unjust. It's feudal idea. The whole idea of essentially the inheritance of property is a feudal idea. So luck means somebody is privileged and somebody is persecuted. That somebody born in a very poor atmosphere gets persecuted. Say, for example, somebody is born in a poor Tamilian family in Sri Lanka, and the Tamils are being attacked. Or a small child is born to a Pandit family in Kashmir, and the Pandits are being attacked. Now, for no reason, that person is facing persecution. So that is one element where we will say luck, bad luck. So for Mukesh Ambani's sons, it is good luck, and for children of those who are born in persecuted communities in conflict zones, it's bad luck. So this is privilege and persecution. Second, luck distorts the idea of equality. Luck is not a democratic concept. It's not an egalitarian concept. It's a highly aristocratic concept. Almost a feudal concept. I would say not almost, completely a feudal concept. So it is the equality does not go with luck. And therefore, the operation of luck more often than not brings suffering rather than privilege. So if luck provides privilege to 10, it will provide suffering to 20. Therefore, because luck usually is referred to as hard luck, very few people will say, I have good luck. Most people will complain about hard luck. And therefore, most people see luck not as a lottery won, but as a problem to be solved. So this is also an important characteristic of luck, that most people look at luck not as a lottery won, but as a problem to be solved. And people do all sorts of things, from astrology to wearing of gemstones, to using of Reiki, to using of pranic healing, to doing all sorts of things in order to overcome the ill effects of luck. So these are the various aspects in which luck gets defined. And obviously, there is no one way in which people define. In different contexts, people use the word luck to mean all of this, any of this, or all of these different things.
As you've been explaining the different versions of luck, how people get lucky or hard luck, that makes a difference in their life. So, according to your expertise, what is the common phenomena? How do people understand or relate to it?
Yeah.
What is the exact way they translate this word luck as?
So first we saw what people call as luck. Now we come to the causal understanding. Okay, whatever luck is, how people try to understand it, how people try to make sense out of it. And people, there are two groups here.
Mm.
One group says there's nothing like luck. It is just injustice in society, or it is just an unknown. That because you don't know a theory of everything, and because you don't have a theory of everything, you cannot explain everything. And therefore, all those things that you cannot explain and sorry, and seem dramatic, you attribute all those phenomena to something called luck. But it is nothing more than one of the many unknowns. As knowledge advances and more of unknown becomes known, a time will come where we'll not need the concept of luck because we'll be able to
Like
explain.
even for me as a layman, I would think luck is to do with some kind of good karmic, gatherings which I have collected, or the ill one, and that is what is being, bestowed, or that is has been pushed or cursed for. So people usually relate with other fundamental versions of their religious interpretations of good luck.
Correct.
So
So there are
it
two
can be
groups.
confusing. Okay.
So there are two groups. One group tells you that there's nothing called luck. Luck does not exist. It is just one of the unknowns. And when you have a theory of everything, or even you have uh, a substantial amount of unknown converted into known because of the advancement of knowledge, you won't need the idea of luck because you are only using it to explain something which is otherwise not
Mm.
explainable in scientific terms. So,
Right.
this group believes that there is nothing like luck. It is just a misnomer that we give to the unknown. And it's a wrong explanation we are trying to provide to something that we are not able to fully understand. So they believe there's nothing like luck. It's a completely rational system, or it's actually a logical system. It's not rational system. May not be ideal system, but it has a logic of its own.
Mm.
Therefore, even if it is a non-ideal rational system,
Mm.
essentially can be understood in rational terms, and we don't need the concept of luck. Just as they dismiss the concept of God, they also dismiss the concept of luck, and they also dismiss the concept of soul. So this is one group. There is a second group which says luck exists. Now, if you don't accept that luck exists, then the question of explaining luck does not arise. But if you accept that luck exists, then all the causality and the consequence questions come up.
Mm.
And this group believes that what we call luck operates because of these following factors. One, they believe in some of them, those who believe in luck, now we are trying to go deeper into them. Now, if you
Mm.
look at the whole group which believes in the existence of luck, then there are many small subgroups within that group. And each group
Mm.
has a belief. So one
Right.
subgroup would have a belief that luck is actually something which comes from the past life. It is our own karma. So this is a karmic unfolding of what we have done in the past. Second subgroup will believe that luck is nothing but what God endows on his favorites. In older times, kings used to say this, that we are the favorites of gods and therefore we are born as kings.
Mm.
Some another subgroup talks about God's grace, that one may not be lifelong favorite of God, but one may have a temporary grace of God. That you buy a lottery and it clicks. You apply for a project and very big players have applied. There is no chance you will win and somehow you win. And that becomes a break in your career. You go somewhere and you hear something which strikes you, you start walking on that path, and 5 years down the line, you are at a completely different place than where you have been if you have not heard that talk. You meet a person, and then that because of that meeting, the interaction continues and you go on a completely different tangent, either positive or negative. So there are these junction points which determine a long duration of travel post the junction points. So these junction points have this element of God's grace or luck. another subgroup believes that luck is also something which is the consequence of something done by suprahuman beings. And in Hindu spirituality, we believe in a category of many categories of suprahuman beings and also infrahuman beings, right? Spirits of both types, beings of both types. So what they do can also have an impact on human life, and therefore, if some of those powerful entities are with you, you will have good luck, positive outcomes, and you will fall good luck because you are getting disproportionate to your talent and effort. So you know that you are getting more than you deserve. And that is because some suprahuman beings are with you. And the same on the opposite side, that if difficult suprahuman beings are with you, you don't get what you deserve. You get much less than that. And then people go to remove those things. Then we have this idea of exponential property of nature. That maybe there are some laws of nature that in a certain duration of time, certain people will be favored out of the way, and certain people will be disfavored out of the way. So disproportionate reward and disproportionate loss will befall upon certain number of people, and there's some probabilistic system at work. That in every 10 years, certain number of times, these events have to happen. This emergent events, this non-linear exponential events, these non-rational events. And then they would say that luck is built into the laws of nature. That the laws of nature are not linear, but they are exponential. And in that complex laws of nature, it is inbuilt that certain people will experience disproportionately good and certain will experience disproportionately bad, and most will experience an ordinary flow of life. So this is another explanation of the word luck. Then we have the idea of self-journey. That the soul might think of experiencing life in a particular way. So say last time it experienced a life of abundance, and this time it wants to experience a life of deprivation. Now that may not be relishable to the outer nature, because the outer nature of man always wants comforts, pleasures, security, power, and so on. But at the innermost core, the soul wants to undertake a journey which is very different from what the outer nature wants. And in such a situation, the soul will make sure that you don't go prosperous, because it has come to experience a life of deprivation. So the soul calls upon situations where deprivation continues, because this is what the soul has come to experience, and the outer nature of man may be fighting with one's own deep nature. Because the deepest of nature is unknown to us, and it's not acceptable also. It's not easy to accept those things. So this is a concept of self-journey. That self-journey may be distorting the input-output linear relationships which are rational. And it's turning the output into a way which is compatible with the goals of the inner journey. And that is one more element how luck operates. Then we have the idea of journey of the universe. Say, for example, somebody is very creative, very knowledgeable, very wise, very articulate, very impressive. And he can accelerate the progress of society in a particular direction in a very vigorous way. But where he can take society, or the pace at which he can take society, is not in compatibility with the journey of the universe. Either the journey of the universe wants it to be very slow, because certain more events have to happen before these events can happen, or it does not want the universe to take this direction. So there, the output of the individual is in conflict with the journey of the universe, and in such situations, the output of the individual is curtailed. So despite everything, he won't be successful. He won't be able to take people along because destiny will not be with him. Because the universe does not want a particular direction to be taken or taken so soon. Um, in Savitri, Shri Aurobindo writes a line, very prophetic line. He says, "A truth born too soon will break the nascent earth." And so we were referring to Shri Aurobindo's line, "A truth born too soon will break the nascent earth." And that is where the conflict arises between the individual's capability and where the destiny has to go. So this also brings in an element of luck. And similarly, on the positive side, a movement has to be taken and somebody is just picked up and suddenly endowed with extraordinary success so that he aligns with the movement of the universe. So this is another element. And some people look at it just as a lottery, that one in a million is bound to win a lottery. It is embedded in the social phenomena, and let us be that person. So they look at luck more as a lottery without going into a deeper understanding of it. They just keep it as an unknown, unexplained. That there's something non-linear, causal, irrational at work, highly beneficial or highly loss endowing, but there's no explanation of it. So they look at it as a lottery unexplained. So these are the different ways in which people explain and understand the phenomena of luck.
So when we talk about this mystical phenomena of luck, which is unexplored, unidentified, and sounds and seems to be something beyond human life's control, it's a universal concept and a grace. Um, it has been noticed like most of the cultures have their own versions of it, but most of the Asian or the Eastern countries have more deeper understanding and explanations for these fundamental concepts of grace and love. Is it to do with the spiritual advancement of these cultures where they have explored life beyond human entity and with the universe? Is it to do with that? Can we say luck is a cosmic experience which human experiences, and is it to do with even the animal kingdoms and trees also? Because there are some trees who are born who are erected on a barren land, where there's some in the jungle in their own harmony. So we see it, this luck phenomena is all over, it's universal, it is not just for our understanding and humans. It is even with the animals. There are pets who are roaming in Mercedes, and there are pets who are on the road and dying under getting under a truck or something, speeding truck. So it seems to be fairly applied on everything and everything under the sky. So is it to do with the spiritual advancement? What explanations you are giving to do with the Eastern phenomena and cultures? They have experienced it and explored much better.
Yes, that is true. That the concept of luck and the concept of karma and the concept of reincarnation and the concept of the other worlds has been much better explored and explained in the East than in the West, especially in Hindu spirituality. That is correct.
Even thereafter, we see that there are many sciences which comes as a remedial and remedy based for these luck and their treatment, ill luck and good luck enhancement, crystal sciences, as you mentioned, healing sciences, Vastu Shastra, astrology. So
Correct.
does that mean that we are emphasizing more on the aspects beyond karma, that you can do certain rituals and advance this process of being
That is true.
receiving grace?
That is true. We are a far sophisticated and profound culture in this area. That is true. And that has to do with two, three things. One, the exploration of the enlightened ones. where they have experienced their past lives and they have seen the uh, law of karma working. So one of the empirical supports of law of karma comes from that of uh, remembering one's past life and connecting the present with the uh, seeds of the past. That is one. The second has to do with the exploration of the astral worlds, the causal worlds, and so on. And the third one has to do with intuition, where the knowledge appears intuitively to somebody. And the fourth support of luck and karma comes from direct experience of life. And this is something very important. What happens is, as the evolution proceeds towards its end, the the speed at which law of karma operates becomes very high. So usually you perform a karma and some karma give you immediate effect, but most of the deeper karmas, they take effect after a very long time. So you can't make up the cause and effect. But as you proceed nearer to your enlightenment, the law of karma starts operating very fast because the account has to be erased clean. So then what happens is, because you're not looking at a distant future to balance the balance sheet, the karmic balance sheet, what you do immediately comes back to you. And that is where a person is able to see and correlate the law of karma in action. So that is actually empirically sorry, seen in operation by those who are nearing enlightenment. It cannot be seen by ordinary person because there it operates in a very subtle way and on a much longer time scale. But when the time scale is about to end in some way, everything has to operate before that. So it becomes quick and it becomes more observable. So
And
this
since there is less of outstanding, so it gets cleared then and there itself.
correct. So luck coming from the karmic component, then what we call luck, right? As we said, it's a category word which covers up so many different elements at work. So everything which is not rational and not within the purview of free will is compartmentalized into luck. But actually, this is not one. There are 7 different components within the area of what we call luck. So if we go into the general event causation as to why anything happens at all, we have a general causation model in which free will is one component, and then there are many other components. What we do is we keep free will on one side and all others we put together into luck. So if we deconstruct it, actually we are looking at a luck as an aggregate category word which covers so many different elements which are other than free will and other than ordinary reason.
So your screen appears to be frozen. Are we connected?
Yeah, I can hear you, but I can't. I can see the frozen image. Yeah, I can see you now.
Okay, all right. So, sir, as you were explaining the different components, hello,
Hello.
sir, I cannot see you. I can hear you now. दो हार्ड लक लोग बैठ के रिकॉर्डिंग कर
Talking
रहे हैं.
about luck and the hard luck is here.
मैं भी बोल रही, दो हार्ड लक लोग बैठ के कर रहे हैं रिकॉर्डिंग, कैसे होगा कंप्लीट?
Okay. We are nearing time. Should we end this part and start a new one?
Yes, sir.